Welcome to Whitmer High School and the College Credit Plus Information Night. I need to start out by thanking several people who made tonight's event possible. First and foremost is Sarah Hoffman, our college and career counselor here at Whitmer High School. Sarah is responsible for tonight's presentation and events and is our CC Plus guru. I'm Lori Berryman, and I will be helping Sarah Hoffman present this evening. Whitmer's counselors are April McNamara, who is the counselor for students with the last names of A through D, Jennifer Bronikowski, E through K, Seth Everett, L through R, Donna Scowden, S through Z, Michelle Streeter, who is our transition counselor, Donna Borkowski, the counselor at the Malcolm Bain Center, our junior high counselors, Kimberly Molnar from Jefferson, and Molly Mueller from Washington. So what is College Credit Plus? College Credit Plus is an opportunity for college-ready students in grades 7 through 12 to take college classes before graduation. CC Plus covers all dual credit programs, which means high school and college credit is free of charge to the student, and students can go to the campus and take classes, or they can opt for an online version of the same courses. Through CC Plus, Washington Local Schools pays for tuition, books, and the college fees. Books do need to be returned to Whitmer High School along with any supplies that are purchased at the end of the semester. If books or supplies are not returned to Whitmer, the student will have fees. Washington Local Schools does not pay for parking or transportation if the student opts for the on-campus version of the program. CC Plus enrollment options. Option A is where the student earns college credit only. It does not affect the high school GPA. Parents are financially obligated to pay for this option, and students can attend fall, spring, and/or summer. Option B, which is I'm sure why a lot of you are here, means that the student earns both high school and college credit. This is reflected on the high school transcript at no cost to the student. Students can attend fall, spring, and/or summer. Now, why would anybody opt for option A? That will go into effect if the student goes over 30 credit hours per year. Then the student would, or the family would have to pay for the extra hours, and it would not affect the high school GPA, those extra hours that are involved.
We're going to kind of tag team some of this. And when I looked at the slides that I got, I seem like I'm the bad guy because I'm talking about some of the negative things. But it is something, I hate to even talk about this, but it is something that we need to discuss. So if a student fails a college credit plus, it will result in an F on the college transcript and the high school transcript. And there will be no credit given for the class, obviously. And also, the student is now responsible financially for that class. Now, if a student receives a failing grade because they dropped the course after the 14 days, and actually it's not a failing grade, it's a withdrawal. It'll be a W on the transcript. If you withdraw from a class, a college class, after 14 days, you are responsible for that, for the cost of that class. So failing a class and withdrawing after the 14 days is something that we don't want to have to deal with. And also failing a CC Plus class can potentially affect your graduation status, because if you're a senior and you're taking Comp 1 at the college level and you don't pass it and you need that 4th English class to graduate, we won't know that you failed that class until the class is over. We don't get midterm reports, so we may not find out about that failed English class until May or the end of May. So then you want to graduate June 11th, so it becomes an issue, and that could potentially affect graduation. I do have to stress that students, when they choose to participate in College Credit Plus, you are starting your college transcript. So if you get a C in a college course, that means that you have a college GPA of a 2.0. And you might think, oh, a C is great. I'm taking college level classes. It's difficult. I rose to the challenge. I got a C. Well, that 2.0 can be troublesome for you. Because let's say you take one class at College Credit Plus and you have a 2.0 GPA at, let's say, University of Toledo. And then you don't take any more college credit classes, and you graduate from Whitmer with a 3.6 GPA, you do well in your ACT, and you earn a scholarship to the University of Toledo. Well, you have a 2.0 at the University of Toledo. So to maintain your scholarship at most universities, you need to have a certain GPA, and it's higher than a 2.0. So it's not that you don't get that scholarship, but that first semester that you are in college becomes very important. So you need to be getting A's and maybe one B so that you end up with a 3.4 GPA to keep your scholarship. And I'm not sure if the 3.4 is the scholarship. I know it's usually right around a 3.0 to keep your scholarship that you earn. So it is something to consider. I don't want to be negative about things, but I want to be realistic and make sure that you know all of the information. And also with dropping a class, students can drop their class from their cell phone. So they don't need adult approval to drop a class. It's the same at any university where they're taking a College Credit Plus class. So it is important that if you're going to do this, you need to, and this is I'm speaking to students, you need to make sure that you are communicating with your parents and your school counselor and your success coach at the university before you even think about dropping a class, especially after 14 days. Now, the fun part, weighting of CC Plus classes, and this is a very attractive option. If Whitmer has a current AP class in that same subject area as the College Credit Plus course that the student's taking, then because we weight our AP classes on a 5-point scale, if that student receives an A, then it is a 5-point towards the GPA, which is very attractive, a nice way that you can get your GPA up. Whitmer has a current honors offering in the same subject area as the College Credit Plus course, which is being taken. Then that college course will be weighted at the honor scale. So currently, right now, Whitmer High School only offers AP courses in math, English, social studies, and science. The benefits and risks of CC Plus, Mrs. Merriman will go over the benefits.
The benefits of the CC Plus program are that you're able to earn college credit while you're in high school. You may reduce the time that it takes you to get through college, depending upon the number of classes you take and your course load. It provides financial support for college courses and access to college campus resources. This is something that we aren't seeing our students taking full advantage of. There are many resources that the college has that aren't necessarily offered at the high school. Some of those resources are tutoring services, writing labs, free admission to home athletic events, and use of the fitness center. Now, for some of these, you do need a college student ID. If a student has completed all courses at the high school in a subject area and wants to continue taking courses in that subject area, you're able to do that at the college level. If you have a passion or a gift in a certain area, it provides more opportunities for you. You're able to pursue special interests in depth, and many CC Plus credits earned at an Ohio public college are guaranteed to transfer to any other Ohio public college. Mrs. Hoffman with the risks.
As I stated earlier, one of the risks is it can have an impact on your high school GPA and class standing. Now, of course, it can also have a positive impact if you do well, so I can say something about it. But all CC Plus classes are transcribed on the Whitmer High School transcript, and they are figured into your GPA. There are times when students will not be included on like honor roll. We do honor rolls by quarter, and we don't know if a student is taking a college credit plus class, we don't know, we don't get a quarterly grade report or a midterm report. So there could be instances where your student would not be involved in that honor ceremony. You're starting your college GPA. Students and parents are responsible for your own transportation. That was a question. I got quite a few questions about that. There is no bus that goes over to UT, so it is something that you need to coordinate and figure out. The Whitmer calendar does not match the university calendar. There is a 2-week overlap at the semester, and the holiday breaks are different. Like UT just had their spring break, and we are going to have our spring break in a couple weeks. So you will be expected to be here during the University of Toledo spring break. You don't get to not come to your Whitmer classes if you have a split schedule. And also, of course, you will need to attend your University of Toledo classes when you are on the Whitmer spring break, or Washington Junior High, or Jefferson Junior High. So that is important. But the biggest thing that happens is that overlap with the semester break and exams. So it is very important that you understand that Whitmer schedule trumps the college schedule. We will not excuse students from attending their Whitmer class or Jefferson class to go to the university to take an exam or to meet with a professor. That would be an unexcused absence. So just to let you know, to be very aware of that. Another thing which we've come into is there are times when you may miss important information. Let's say you don't have you're taking one class at the university, so you opt to only come into Whitmer on second, third, and fourth block, because first block you're taking your College Credit Plus class. You are missing the morning announcements, and you're missing the homeroom session. So it is really important that if you choose that option, which you can, that you are watching the morning announcements, which are always posted on the website, that you are aware of what is going on, and talk to your friends, and they'll let you know what's going on too. But I don't want anyone to miss ordering their cap and gown, or miss ordering their class ring or something. So it is important that you are aware. That is your responsibility to watch the morning announcements and check out the website. Impressionable 13 to 17-year-old students will be in a non-structured college setting with much older students if you choose to go to the university campus. It is an adult learning environment. Textbooks are college level reading and college level subject matter. And course content is not screened like you would typically find in a high school class. So there could be things that are uncomfortable. And so that's just something to be aware of. And also it is really important, one thing that I hear a lot from the universities is that the students need to reach out for help. If they are in a college class and they are struggling, like Mary mentioned the writing lab, the math tutoring lab. So it is important that you, the student, reach out to their professor if they are not doing well in a class, and that is very important. Because the college professors, they do not know which students in the class are University of Toledo students or Whitmer students. They don't know. So if our students don't reach out, and it's not like they have to show up with a Whitmer sweatshirt and be like, I'm a Whitmer student. But you just need to be able to reach out for help if things get, if you start to struggle. We talked about how poor performance could affect future scholarships. College coursework is of course more rigorous, it's difficult, and it is at college level. Also, courses may not transfer. Now Mrs. Barron just said that many of them will, but some courses may not transfer. So there's a guarantee if you go to a public university in Ohio, they will transfer if you are taking one of the courses from the 15-hour pathway or 30-hour pathway, and I'll show you that in a minute. But if you're planning on going out of state or to a private school, there is no guarantee that it will transfer. There is a nice website, transfer.org. You can go on that, type in the classes you're going to take, look at the course, look at where you're thinking about going, and you can see if they will accept that credit. Or just pick up the phone and call the university, maybe University of Michigan if you're thinking of that, and ask them. Students ask the counselors a lot if this course is transferable to, Dayton or something. There's no way for us to know every university and the courses that are transferable. That is your responsibility to investigate that. And also there is no guarantee that you will get the college credit course that you want. That's why we make sure that all of you have a full schedule, and then when you turn in your schedule to us, we will drop whatever class we need to from your schedule. Because you may say you want to take Comp 1, and that's great, but if they're all full, then we need to make sure that we have a class, an English class for you. So there is no guarantee that that class will be available at the time that you want it to. Another consideration is something called FERPA. Don't ask me what it stands for, but I hear it a lot. It's kind of like HIPAA. FERPA, parent contact can be restricted in college courses, regardless of the setting. So school conferences with the students present are permitted, but the student in a college course bears full responsibility for academic performance, information, and learning. So there is no power school with the university classes. Many of the university classes use something called Blackboard, and it's an online platform. It is important for you as parents to know that code, that password to their Blackboard account so that you can be checking their grades. But if you call the university and want to talk to the professor, they probably will not call you back. They don't have to. So it is important that your student communicates with you and as a parent that you're on top of it, you're checking their grades, because you will not get a mid-quarter report, and it's at the end of the courses when you know how things are working out. And like I mentioned, the professors do not know which students are Whitmer students and which students are like juniors in college. So.
Who is a good candidate to participate in CC+? Our recommendation is that students who are motivated and mature, students who are academically strong, students who want to explore academic areas that may not be available after high school, and students who have time to devote to college classes. I'm also going to add, and I think Ms. Hoffman alluded to this as well, is students who are going to be very responsible and independent learners. The college classes are not set up the same way that the high school classes are. It's a different level, it's a different platform. Students need to take responsibility for their own learning, a lot of times in CC+. That brings us to high school eligibility. Students who are involved in CC+ may participate in extracurricular activities at the high school level and athletics. The high school eligibility is determined on a quarterly basis, and students will be required to submit midterm grades for eligibility. As we said before, this is going to be the student's responsibility to provide grades and submit grades to their coach each quarter. The school does not have the ability to call a professor and get their grades. They will not talk to us. We will provide a document that the student has to give to the professor to sign to confirm what their grades are for eligibility, but the student is responsible for getting that professor's signature, their grade, and getting it back to our athletic department. If a student is considering playing sports at the college level, it's the student's responsibility to check with the university to confirm the course is cleared through the NCAA clearinghouse. The student must request that their college transcript to be submitted to the NCAA clearinghouse their junior year to make sure that is cleared as well. High school requirements. All Whitmer High School graduation requirements remain unchanged regardless of the student's involvement in CC+. It is your responsibility to discuss course alignment with your counselor. Discussing and meeting with your counselor is imperative to, I think, student success in CC Plus. Their Whitmer counselor along with their success coach at the college level. The grade and credit you earn in the college course will be applied to your high school graduation required course load. Okay, there are certain things that you are going to have to meet, and be careful when scheduling your CC Plus courses. One example is that humanities is not an English class at the college level. If as a senior in high school, you want to take a humanities class through CC Plus, even though humanities 1 and 2 are considered English credits here at Whitmer High School, they are not considered, they would not fulfill your 4th English credit that you need at the high school level. So these are things that you would not necessarily know. I guess my opinion is don't make assumptions when it comes to what classes are going to fulfill your graduation requirements here at Whitmer. Be sure to talk to your counselor. Ohio State tests. Students must comply with the state testing. Even if a student is enrolled in college courses, he or she must take the end of course exams in English 1, English 2, Algebra 1, and Geometry, and 1 science test. College Credit Plus students do not have to take the end of course exams in American Government and American History if they are enrolled in College Credit Plus courses that substitute. A College Credit Plus student's grades in these subjects will correspond with a point scale used for graduation requirements. If you are a 7th or 8th grader taking Comp 1 as your English 9 or English 10 credit, you have to make arrangements to take the AIR test at the high school. They do not follow the Common Core curriculum to ensure success on the AIR test in English or math. What that means is that you may be taking Comp 1, your student may be very successful in Comp 1. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to be prepared for their end of course exams. They do not follow the same curriculum. Course choices and CC Plus pathways. Okay, the conversion to high school credits. At the college level, you're talking semester hours. In high school, we talk credits. So how does that calculate? 5 semester hours equals 1 credit. 4 semester hours, 1 credit. 3 semester hours, 1 credit. 2 equals 0.66 credits. 1 semester hour equals 0.33 credits.
So course selection and scheduling. You can take 1 or more courses at the university per semester. So you can have a blended schedule where maybe you're taking 3 classes here at Whitmer and then 1 class at the university, and or 2 and 2 or 3 and 1, or, so you can blend them together. Or you can decide, we have a couple seniors who they don't step foot on Whitmer campus. They are there the entire day. You can take courses at more than 1 participating university. So you can take one at Norris, take one at UT. College Credit Plus participation does not guarantee access to all college courses. So you may see a course in the catalog that you really, really want to take at UT. If you don't have the prerequisites, you won't be allowed to take it. Very similar to like our course catalog. If you don't have the prerequisite for a course, you can't take it. So you just need to be aware of that and talk to your success coach at the university about that. Courses, like we mentioned earlier, you can either go to the university and take the course, or they do offer online options. And we have a couple students where they're taking UT classes online and they stay at Whitmer. They just go up to the library. So maybe they're here first and second hour, and then third hour they're up in the library and they're working on their online class, and then they go to their 4th block class. So that's a nice option. We definitely work with the students. It's easier with the online because you can work on that class whenever you want. Like we mentioned earlier, you want to definitely consult with your college academic advisor. They're called success coaches at UT, advisors at UT. And your school counselor about course choices. You cannot take religious classes or remedial classes. To watch those history classes that you sign up for, because there may be history of Catholicism or something like that. We won't pay for that. Okay, so just be careful when you're doing that, we won't pay for any remedial classes. Do not drop a course without talking to your college advisor and your high school counselor. please, you have to let us know. We'll work with you. Also, it is the responsibility of the student to select appropriate courses. And that is that your high school counselors will advise you on your high school requirements. So when we say you need an English class to graduate and you're going to take one at the university, we are passing the baton to you. I cannot access the university system. I don't know what you sign up for. So if you go to the university, and even though we had this conversation, and I said, make sure you take an English class, and then you go and you sign up for humanities, and it's not an English class, you know, it is your responsibility to make sure that you are signing up for the appropriate classes. I mentioned the pathways, and this is on our website, but there are 15-hour pathways and there are 30-hour pathways. And these are some suggested classes, and then 30 hours would be a full-time at the university, and those are some suggested classes. And these courses that are listed, they are part of that guarantee to transfer to a public university in Ohio. Now, we get to do some math. Yay. Between high school and college, a student cannot earn more than 30 credit hours per year, and that includes summer. If you notice, we mentioned earlier that summer, you can take classes this summer. And summer is attached to the beginning of the school year. So, let's say that you're taking 6 classes at Whitmer, and I think that's a full schedule at junior high, because you guys have 6 classes. To determine the number of high school credits, they count every high school class that you're taking like it was 3 semester hours. Okay, so when I say credits, I don't mean classes. You can't take 30 classes, that would be really hard. It's 30 credit hours, semester credit hours. So if you're taking 6, then you multiply that number, you multiply the number of high school classes by 3. So you're taking 6 classes, multiply that by 3, I'm looking at my notes, and it's 18. So then you subtract that from 30, because 30 is the most you can take. And then whatever's left over, which in this case is 12, that's how many semester hours you can take at the university. Okay? So if you notice, you can have a full schedule at Whitmer, have 8 classes, multiply that by 3, that's 24. You can still take, even though you have a full Whitmer schedule, you can still take 6 semester hours at the university. Most classes, are 3 semester hours at the university. But there are some that are 4, there are some that are 5. So you just need to be careful, and we need to work together to make sure that you don't go over that 30. Because let's say you sign up for, I don't know, a chemistry class that has a lab, so it's 4. So that puts you over just by 1. It just puts you over by 1. They won't charge you for 1 credit, they'll charge you for the full course of the course, the full cost of the course, which is 4 semester hours. And it's the full price of the university. Okay, so we want to work together so that that doesn't happen. And the way that we do that is we require all the students to give us a copy, give their counselor, and then the counselor gives it to me. I have a nice little spreadsheet so that I know how many credit hours you are signed up for. So we work together. The university is wonderful to work with about letting me know, what students are taking what and how many credit hours. But we have to we definitely need to work together, because I don't want you to get a bill and you don't want that. Students must have, to be full-time status, you have to have at least 4 academic classes each semester. So that's where it gets funky if a student decides on their own to drop a class and doesn't tell anyone, and now they're not full-time students. We lose funding, so then we can't pay for your college credit plus classes. So it's really very, very important. And plus, it is very disruptive to the learning environment when a student drops a college credit plus class, and we have to try to put them into a Whitmer class that is 3 weeks in, and it's hard to be successful. Deadline for students. Here's the big thing. Your intent to participate, and that is a form that is required by the state. If you are thinking about doing this, if you are intending to do it, You're not guaranteed, you're not, you're just thinking about it. You're thinking, yes, I intend to do this. Then this is due to our office by March 24th. If you are at the junior high or elementary school, you want to give this form to your counselor by March 24th. And the reason we say March 24th, the state deadline is April 1st, but we're on spring break. Also, you have this fancy yellow sheet. And this is another document that the state is requiring. Trust me, we don't want all of this paperwork. But this, just like what it says, information session participation verification form. That's a mouthful. So this just shows that you did come tonight, you paid attention, you were listening, and you just initialed here and your student initials here that you've heard the presentation, you sign it, and you turn it in one of those things. You turn in your intent to participate. Then it is the parent and the student's responsibility to research the institution that you're interested in, either Owens or UT. That's who we're partnered with, and apply online. So they can, and I'll have a slide that shows, their application, their website, and all that stuff. But it is your responsibility to apply. Just by turning these forms in, you did not just apply to the university. There was some confusion last year with students who thought that they were all done. So you have to go online and you have to apply to the universities. And it's also the responsibility, a lot of times, I know with Owens and UT, after you submit your application online, you give them an email address. Give them an email address that you actually check. Because after you apply, they will email you. And they will email you important information that you need to print out at home and sign and bring in to the school. We don't know that you applied. If you do it online, it's important that you check your email and you follow up with us so that we can send your transcript and do all that good stuff. Oh, and I forgot to mention, counselors are not available in the summer. We are on a teacher schedule, so it is important that you get all of this paperwork done before June 9th. So that is important. So I mentioned the email, that's very important. Once you are admitted to the college, and they'll send that via email with instructions, and they'll assign you a success coach or an advisor. Then you arrange a meeting with your college success coach, your advisor, to discuss courses, and they will have an orientation for you which you will attend, and then you will schedule your classes through the university. And all of this information comes via email after you apply and after you bring in the necessary forms to the school before June 9th. Students must submit their CC Plus schedule, their college schedule, to the school counselor before the first day of class. So if you are going to take summer school, just bring that in and drop it off in the counseling office and I'll get it. I may not be there that day, but I'm in all summer. But so you need to make sure that we have that information so that we know what classes you're taking. It is your responsibility to notify your counselor of any changes that are made to your schedule throughout the year. So let's say you sign up for fall and you drop off your schedule, and then the next day you decide, oh, I'm going to switch the English class I'm going to take. That's fine, as long as you do it within that window and you pick up another class, but we just need to know. If you're thinking about summer, you want to start applying. You want to turn in your intent to participate form and start that process very soon.
On the board is application, the guidelines for applying to the University of Toledo, lists the GPA requirement of 2.5 or higher. Also, the ACT requirements, English 18, Math 22, Reading 22. If you do not meet the ACT requirements in math, but reading and English are good, then you are able to take an English class at the university. Also, have to have the equivalent scores in the SAT, PSAT, AccuPlacer, or Compass. If a student does not have the standardized test scores on their transcript, the ACT, PSAT, SAT, and so on, UT will request that they come to campus and take the free Compass test, which covers math, reading, and writing in those areas. You must go online and complete the online application, which is there on the screen. Do not apply like you are a freshman. They are going to ask for an official transcript with your test scores. 7th and 8th graders, GPA, which is your grade card, and proof of proficiency will be required, which may be demonstrated on any of the tests above. And students may be admitted based on high school GPA and of course examination scores, writing assessment, a review of previous college work, or other data that's applicable. Application deadlines are April 27th for summer. If you're planning on going in summer, as Mrs. Hoffman said, you need to get that done now, and July 15th for the fall. All UT courses are available to be taken at CC+. However, a select group of the general ed courses are available 100% online and meet the Ohio transfer module requirements. Those classes are listed up there on the screen. Community College. How to apply at Owens Community College has the website there, www.owens.edu. The parent form is mailed in by you. After you mail in the parent form, make an appointment with your counselor to complete the online portion. The counselors will not call you down. You must make an appointment with them at this point so they know that your intentions to be an Owens Community College student. The Whitmer counselors aren't notified by the universities when the students have applied for CC+. As we've said several times, this is very important. It's on the student to make an appointment with Ms. Hoffman or their alpha counselor after completing the online portion. The information that this slide provides is everything that we've gone over tonight, and we realize that we've gone over a lot of information. You can visit the Whitmer Counseling website for all the documents you were given tonight and a video of tonight's presentation. But anything that you may have missed, if another parent was unable to attend, this is where you're going to go. This video and the presentation should be able to answer most of the questions that you may have. If it doesn't, feel free to see your counselor, Ms. Hoffman, me, really anybody in the counseling center, and we will be able to answer your questions.
Hi, this is Ms. Hoffman. Thank you so much for watching this video, taking the time. It is very important. There's a lot of information, and we just want to make sure that the information given is consistent so that everyone has the right information. So the video seemed like a good idea. Of course, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to call Lori, Mrs. Berryman at Whitmer High School, or myself, Sarah Hoffman, or any of the counselors. The counselors in the district have all been trained on this program. Here are some suggestions from students. So here's one. Some advice I'd give to future CCP students is that college is very serious and is nothing like high school. You need to make sure you're focused and try your hardest. Another student replied to our request with, future CC Plus students should determine whether an online class or an on-campus class is better for them. And then once they find a class, the first thing they should do is get into a routine. Great advice. Here's kind of a fun one, which I never knew about, which is look up your professors on ratemyprofessor.com before taking the class so you know what kind of teacher they are, how difficult the class is going to be, and what people usually receive as a grade in that class. I so wish that that was available when I went to Ohio University. Here's some more. If you're planning on becoming a College Credit Plus student, make sure you know that you are ready. You have to keep up with the fast pace. If you get behind, professors will leave you behind. Also, if you get to know your success coach and ask questions, you have to speak up if you are having problems. It really prepares you for college. Good luck, guys. And then the last one that I wanted to share with you is try to avoid online classes unless you know you are a self-motivated and self-disciplined enough to do all of the work involved. And do not procrastinate, which is a great rule of thumb for everything. So thank you for watching the video. Please print out the verification form that you did watch the video. Students need to watch it. Parents need to watch it. We just want to make sure that you're informed. Plus the state requires that piece of paper. So have a good evening. Bye.